Hey family, what's going on? Welcome to the No Matter What podcast. I'm the host Jay. I got my guests on here, Denny Mo, and we're gonna talk to y'all about Denny's process and how he got clean and what made him want to stay in the process of recovery. So Denny, introduce yourself.
My name Denny Mo, man. You know, I'm out here, just trying to live a good life, man. That's it, trying to prosper, be a productive member of society, as we should say, and just do the right thing, man, and live right, no more, no less.
So I know early on, right, as for myself, right, it was a struggle, right? And so what was the tipping point or the turning point for you that made you want to stay and start engaging more in the recovery process rather than leave and say, nah, well, this ain't for me?
Well, basically, I was tired, man. I was banged up. I was beat up. The streets had done took their toll on me, as I should say. And the biggest part was I know my worth. I know what I'm capable of, and I know what I was used to. So being caught up out there in the streets, man, it's a struggle.
Yeah.
And you gotta have some type of discipline, man. Gotta discipline yourself to want better in life. And that's what I did, man. Plus I was tired. I got tired of running the streets, and you know what I mean? It just wasn't working for me no more. So I found a way. I said, well, let me try something different. Sometimes change is hard, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
It has definitely been worth it for me, man. I'm just a miracle, man, within ourselves. So, it was something that needed to be done. Let's just put it that way.
Well, first of all, congratulations on you staying, man. Tell me how much clean time you got.
Oh, I got 3 years and 5 months. Man,
congratulations, man.
Continuous clean time, man. No interruptions.
No slips, no dips, no weekend trips.
No dips, no trips, no none of that. You mean one day at a time, man. That's all it takes, man. And I make sure, that the most powerful vehicle, man, is God.
Yeah.
And
then what follows that up?
Discipline.
Yeah.
Some willpower. Some honesty. Things of that nature. Cause one person that you got to keep it real with is yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can go around and try to fool anybody. You try to fool anybody else you want to, but you got to keep it real with yourself, man. And me myself, I know what type of dude I am, man, and what I'm capable of. When you know your capabilities, man, anything's possible. I don't care what you want to do. You put your mind to it, man, it can be done. You just got to put some work in.
I was having a conversation with somebody earlier today, right? And I was telling them, man, since coming into the recovery process, man, it ain't nothing off the table, man. I feel like I can accomplish, do anything, right? It's like ain't no ceiling, ain't no limit, right, to how far I can go and grow in this process. Because, the recovering addict, man, next to God, man, is what keeps me going, right? A person that I can relate to, person that got empathy for me, and somebody that I can empathize with, man, helps me understand as I watch their matriculation, right? And how they start to grow in the process of recovery, man, and see their elevation, man, and the movements and how they navigate life, man. I felt that was possible. I could do the same thing, man. And so that's why I stay, man. I stay because I know it's somebody that's gonna come behind us. Right? Looking for an example. And somebody, I'm talking from the same neighborhood, the same streets, the same block, right? Looking for that same hope that we found, man.
Yeah. So I had to follow somebody.
Right.
I seen what they did to others in the same situation that I was in. And I said, well, if they could do it, I know I could do it.
Absolutely.
And one thing about it is you gotta want something different. It's just not the talk it, you got to walk it. It's some things that you got to do. You got to put in some work. Like they tell us all the time, people, places, and things. Yeah, that's the sacrifice that you got to give up. There's some places that you can't go. There's some people that you can't hang out with. And there's some things that you can't do no more.
Absolutely.
You understand? And once you understand that and have some willingness to just want to, do something different and progress in life and all that. Because I tell you, man, this recovery piece, man, this was the greatest. I'm talking about the greatest choice I ever made in my life. You know, I don't want for nothing now, man. You know, I live a good life now. You know what I mean? I ain't got to be looking over my shoulders. I ain't running from the police no more. I ain't got no judges on my back. I ain't on paper no more. And I definitely ain't going back to the penitentiary no more. You understand?
Before we started, we was looking at each other's pictures, right, on the last time we used.
Yes.
And I told you, if I would have seen you there, I wouldn't even know you. I wouldn't even recognize you, right?
Hey, man, the transformation is crazy.
Yeah, man.
And this is all God's will, man. I can't take all the credit, man.
Yeah.
You know, they say God take care of fools and babies, man.
And they say in the literature, right, it's a great gift to feel human again. I'm talking about because we was living like animals, man, crashing and scoring, robbing and stealing, man, and like it wasn't a life worth sustaining, man. So now we on the other side of this, man, and like it's easy, right? It's easy once you put down the dope and change your mindset, because you change your mind, you change your life, and so you start walking like the so-called normal people, right? We start thinking that we one of them now, right? But we still understand that we still suffer from a disease which it ain't no cure, but it can have to be arrested at some point, and then recovery is possible, right? So we recovering now because the possibilities is endless once we put down the dope.
Yeah. Like I said, I go back to what I said before. You got to be willing.
Yeah.
It got to come from here. It got to come from here, and you got to do it for you.
Absolutely.
If you try doing it for anybody else, it ain't going to work. Because you're substituting what the truth is.
Yeah.
Truth is you have a addiction problem. And if you're trying to do it for somebody else, then it's not going to work. You know, I was sick and tired of not being there for my kids and having to try to satisfy somebody else. So I'm going to do it for my baby mom. I'm going to do it because the parole man on my back and this, that, and the third. None of that stuff worked for me, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I had to get gut honest and say, listen, Dennis, man, you got a serious problem, man. You know, now what you gonna do about it? Because there's one thing, you know what I mean, when you don't know.
Yeah.
And it's another thing when you do know. You know what I mean? And you know there's a solution to a problem, man. There's a solution to any problem, man. It ain't nothing that we can't accomplish. You know?
And so knowing is half the battle, right? Because when you know better, you can do better.
Absolutely.
And so when they gave us the blueprint, we followed the blueprint,
All
right?
you gotta do is follow the yellow brick road, man.
They
It's
said,
been paid for you.
stop using, right? Find somebody that believe in you and want to help you in recovery. Get you a basic text, right, which is a book, right? Get somebody that's going to instruct you and show you and give you some suggestions on how to live a day at a time, right? And get some friends, man, people that love you, man, care about you. I ain't talking about the ones that's going to use you. I'm talking about the ones they don't want nothing from you but just to see you get better.
That's it. And that's what I did. But so my whole thing was, my biggest asset when I came into this recovery process was I became a listener.
Mm.
See, you can hear people talk, and you can say, I hear you. But if you ain't listening, you will miss the point. You understand? So I became a listener. Man, I grabbed onto some coattails, bro, and I ain't let go since.
Because they tell you when you walk in the door to do what? Take the cotton out your ears
and put it in your mouth. You know, so you come to learn. You know what I mean? It's like going to school all over again, man. You got to pay attention to what the teacher's telling you.
Right.
You understand? So when the people was telling me, you know, certain things, and they wasn't telling me nothing, what we do is we get suggestions.
Right.
We take suggestions. So they didn't have to tell me twice. You mean, I listen, man, yeah, that's what you want me to do. All right, let's go ahead and do it.
Right, right.
You know, it's the putting in work part. It's where it comes in the pro. Because you could talk it all day long.
Yeah.
But once you got to apply this stuff to your life, man, and I guarantee you, your life will change for the better.
I seen a lot of people, right, that came into the program or the recovery process and talked themselves right on out because they come in thinking that they know how the program works instead of listening to learn and learn to listen, right? So in this thing here, this recovery, you got to do a whole lot of listening. All that stuff you thought you knew, that's out the window. Because all we knew when we got here was how to get high. We ain't know nothing about staying clean, we ain't know nothing about recovery, and we ain't know nothing about helping ourselves or nobody else, right?
Yeah, you got to think about it. Your best thinking told you to go get high.
Go get one more.
And listen, the disease of addiction, man, has one goal and one goal only, man. It wants to destroy you.
Kill you.
its main goal is to kill you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when you out there using it on a day-to-day basis, and listen, I'll be the first one to tell you, you're slowly killing yourself, because I know I was. So when I got to the point where I couldn't do it no more, because what is it called? Self-inflicting pain. And what happens is you're putting chemicals and whatever into your body, and you don't even know what it is.
Yeah.
You don't know what these people giving you, but you taking a chance on, you know what I mean, somebody giving you the right thing, and you don't know what you might get, cause ain't nobody opposed to getting a bad batch,
And listen,
regardless of what it is.
put your money in that hole and wait for to see what I give you.
Yeah, you know, you're throwing your life on the crap table, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So they say all the time, right? This thing is cunning, baffling, and insidious, man.
That it is. That it is.
It'll have you
bro.
thinking good is bad and bad is good. You know what I mean? So, hey, man, I appreciate you coming on to the No Matter What podcast. Before we go, though, tell me what No Matter What mean to you.
By all means necessary, get one more day. I don't care if it takes you, you know, you got to do it a minute at a time, hour at a time, or whatever. You know, and that's just my take on it. But try to prosper in life, man. You know, because life is beautiful and it's too short. So, you know, live clean, man. It's a beautiful thing. Trust me when I tell you that.
Appreciate you, baby. Thanks
Absolutely,
for coming on.
bro.
No Matter
Anytime.
What podcast. And we'll see y'all later. Peace.
Peace.